The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is Universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
All right, we're back here on the drill. We've talked about some things already this morning. We get to the 10-minute drill. We'll expand to some other areas, maybe even do some revisiting already. So thanks so much for being with us. You know, he's not the best player on the team, Dan, but he might be the most important. I've determined for Florida to win basketball games against good teams, there's one guy that to me, is the key guy, and it's Noah Locke. When Noah Locke hits 4 or 5 3-pointers, like he's capable of doing and has done quite a bunch this year, Florida wins basketball games, and they stay in games. You know, some of the wins that you don't get all that excited about are still good wins at, South Carolina earlier this year. And so they've had some wins, but Noah Locke has gotten to score. He went 0 from 3 the other night, and, Florida is – I've determined this, Hick. They're a really good basketball team, but they all have to play good to beat anybody.
Well, he had a 24-game streak of making at least 1 3 snap, so that was unfortunate. He picked a bad time to do it, and they went toe-to-toe with Kentucky, and then they hit that Florida lull, which has been going on for 2 years now, and they just don't have
7-8 minutes without scoring.
They just don't have enough offense, man. I don't know if they don't have the right guy or the scoring guy, the guy who they absolutely can count on. It just wasn't there, and it was a shame because I did let myself
dream.
Yeah, see a W coming out of that game.
Sure, you go
for a
take
while.
a 7. You come out of the break, you go up 7, but
had a chance to go up 8. Missed a free throw. It was 40-33, if I'm not mistaken. It was 31 all at the half. Florida jumped on to start the second half, and I was excited. But Kentucky eliminated quick, and then one of their guys got hot, hit like 3 threes. And they pulled away and won the game. In Lexington, young Gators, of course, immediately go to Twitter and scream and rant and rave, and the stupidity with which it flows.
There's no one out there with that, by the way.
Is mind-boggling. Like the fact that Florida can't win at Lexington. They never have won. We told you Friday, 10-51 all time.
I've done 2 field surveys on this stuff. We have to stop recognizing this Mike White is such a small, tiny minority. It really is. For instance, I was at that St. John Sports Club last week.
Yes.
I said, I get so inundated sometimes with the loud minority. I just want to take the temperature of something. How many Gator basketball fans are there? 20 of them raise their hand. Mm-hmm. You guys okay with what do you think about Mike White? 20 hands. Think he's doing a great job. So you know-it-alls online that think you're making an impact. Yeah. You're not. Everyone thinks you're stupid, and you are stupid.
But anyway.
Your stupid basketball opinions are really stupid.
Anyway, they got a big game against LSU. This is an important one, Wednesday night at home, 9 o'clock crowd. So
they have to win that game. At some point, they're getting a lot of grace as it is, Hick.
Yeah, a lot of teams are.
Yeah,
go look at
one of those years.
Go look at the Big Ten.
I know.
It's been that way the last couple years, and it's kind of weird to me. I've noticed a shift, but
Florida's doing a lot like what they did last year. Similar kind of record.
Yeah.
Have a win or two that get that you notice.
But it would have been a nice. Oh boy, they could have stole that one, and it would have been exciting. They ended up coming up short. So what are they now? They're 9-5 in conference play.
Yeah.
So they'll try to get their 10th win Wednesday night, and they still have trips to Tennessee and Georgia.
Georgia's
and then
not
home
easy.
Game against
It's
Kentucky. They can beat Kentucky, but they gotta.
Georgia finally held on and beat somebody.
No, they came back, hit a buzzer beater to beat Vandy.
Oh, that's not the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. So, and Auburn was down 17 in the second half.
They're like Florida.
Tennessee,
they come back
and they came back. So, anyway, it was good. It was interesting. Speaking of Florida, though, paging Joe U. I almost am now at the point where, after the results of the last year, Joe U will have to come on like Mr. 10, who did it well for years and would state the number of days since Tennessee last beat Florida. I think Joe U might have to repeat all the sports that Joe U that the Gators have made Miami their little you-know-what. Mm-hmm. I mean, a total domination, but a sweep down there where really festive early season atmosphere.
That's a great series.
At the Light, Mark Light Stadium.
Kevin O'Sullivan, by the way, Hick, and I'll let you continue with the recap. In a way, did what Spurrier did. Like, Florida was not beating FSU in Miami when he got there. And they're beating the heck out of both of them regularly.
Look, the best thing I took, I won't bog down too much in early season college baseball, 8-0. And FSU comes to JU tomorrow night. So, Noel fans, if you want to see the Seminoles and and sort of the new old regime now have won 6 or 7 in a row since losing the opener, so they're doing well. They play JU tomorrow at 6 on a Tuesday night, weather permitting. I think there's some rain forecast out there. But with that said, the best thing I saw from the weekend was Tommy Mace look like an ace, and that is
for Florida.
That is big for the Gators if he can.
The pitching's been
and then
way
Barco
better than they thought.
was terrific yesterday.
Leftwich is kind of
Barco has worked his way
expected.
right in as a number 3 guy in the rotation.
Freshman from Bowles.
Yeah, struck out 7.
Was this kid from Ponte Vedra a known factor?
No.
He stole the weekend. Jacob Young had just dominated
Jacob
all
Young has
weekend.
sort of come out of nowhere. Now I
probably leading him in hitting.
I'm sure the Ponte Vedra people know
Sure.
that, so I don't mean that.
I did
but
see he had 19 home runs as a senior. I looked up his name when I saw what a good weekend he was having.
19
as a senior, he had 19 home runs.
Huh? Yeah, so
but only hit like but only hit like 330, which in high school was not.
Well, he was definitely a
eye-popping.
slugger than 19 because last year I think 14 led the city, but the bats are always changing, so you never know.
Yeah.
It's a good bat year or a bad bat year, but nonetheless,
I didn't recognize the name, and usually if a guy is,
he was terrific, and then so the Gators got it done down there, and they were good close games. There was tense.
First 2 went extra innings. That was 3 straight extra inning games for Florida.
I tried to. I followed it on Twitter.
Yeah, it's not on TV. It sucks. It just sucks.
Clay County Gator did something. He told me how to do it. But you know me, I'm not near technically savvy enough to pull that off.
I appreciate that being told how to do it. I missed that text.
Let me see what he said. I asked him. He said, you have to make sure. Wait.
It's on Xfinity, he said?
Yeah. I said, how do you get baseball? He said, you have Xfinity. I did a free 7-day trial of YouTube and then linked that to ESPN Plus.
Well, that's a 7. Again, that's not watching it. That's going through hoops. So it's major pain in the butt.
Yeah, I couldn't.
At the ACC now, my fury is equal towards the ACC.
Well,
and Xfinity.
it's interesting because I told my neighbor who wanted to watch it, it was on ACC, and he has it because he has the dish, and he said it wasn't on. So I don't know where it was, but it was out there somewhere.
Well, that's pitiful. I mean,
to watch, but
the ACC network has ruined the ACC.
That in the college baseball world, it was billed as number 1 versus number 2, and then in other ones it's 10 against 7. So it just depends what poll you look at.
Florida will probably be number 1 in most of the polls now, though.
I don't know
after that series. On the road.
In the one they were number 10, I don't think they're going to jump all the way up to number 1, but nonetheless, it was good. It was good. It was a good series sweep, and 8-0 for the Gators. Nice start. And I think a lot of those kids who struggled last year are playing well this year.
Boxing had a window of opportunity on Saturday night. They got a lot of play.
I thought they took advantage of it,
Yeah,
too.
I did, too. The heavyweight
characters.
helps.
I'd like to be brought in for the drill in the mornings on being carried in by Beef and intern Mike on my throne.
Like Tyson Fury did.
Yes.
I'd like to walk in that costume
Mask.
that Wilder had. They said that thing costs like $40,000.
I believe it.
I got to get in the costume business, Hick. I'll make you one for
Seems like a savvy investment.
I'm not a expert in the sweet science, but they say, Teddy Atlas and others say Wilder was exposed as not being a great fighter.
Yeah, just a puncher.
He's looking for that big blow.
Well, I will say this. The heavyweight division hasn't been great.
The other thing I took, I had to search high and low, and I can't get an answer yet on the purse.
Because I saw like
they were guaranteed
$28 million apiece or something like that.
Did you?
Yeah.
From what? Because
From the
I saw
pay-per-view. They had
$5 million.
Well, they had $2 million pay-per-view buys.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It was $2 million?
Yeah.
Because the first one was that on live?
It was, and then I guess they replayed it someplace because it got 200,000 views, I saw. But I had heard last week that it was live on Showtime. So
I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
But I think they were guaranteed like $5 million each, and then they get a cut of the pay-per-views.
I looked it up earlier trying to see the pay-per-view buys.
The one problem with the pay-per-views, and this was pointed out in the thing that I saw, they may say there's 2 million buys, but that means 20 million people watched it. Like we talked about Friday, they were showing it in movie theaters. We like at my house, I had more than I didn't sit there and watch it by myself. You know, my older son watched it with his buddies, and they all pitched in, $15 or $10 or whatever, and 10 of them watched it. So, I mean, that's how they, that's the one thing that makes it tough with pay-per-view. But
it says that per the NSAC, the guaranteed purses were $5 million each. But ESPN reported both men were guaranteed at more than 25. plus a percentage of the receipts.
Okay, so yeah, because when I saw $5 million, I go, "There's no way these guys are making $5 million each."
If they do the round 3, the split of the purse would be 60-40 to Fury. I don't know what the split is on this but you would imagine it'd be similar.
I think it was 50-50 on this one,
Was
but
it?
because he won, I guess the winner probably gets the better deal. But Wilder's contract is the one who he invokes the rematch or non-rematch rule. He has, I think 30 days to say, I want to fight him again. And the talk is, and again, I get this
It's going to be the Anthony Joshua.
I get this from Teddy Atlas, who I think is a real good, he's kind of crazy, but I like how he talks about the sweet science, that he basically said, this Joshua guy fills Wembley fighting tomato cans. If he fights Fury, they'll have to build an extra stadium to watch it. So,
and Joshua now is not just, he can say that it's been tomato cans, but, some people think he's the best.
Well, he has a reputation of ducking people, though.
Yeah, he only has one loss.
I'm not an expert.
He did win the gold medal at the Olympics.
Anthony Joshua?
Yeah. But he's came through.
Is he the one who lost to, the Butterbean guy?
And then he beat him again.
Yeah. He wasn't ready mentally, and he got beat.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's funny after they tell us that these two undefeated fighters are the two best in the heavyweight division. As soon as the fight's over, they're telling me Anthony Joshua is the best fighter.
Yeah.
But now Joshua does have 2 or 3 titles.
Has Joshua fought Wilder?
No.
What are we doing?
There's a bunch of other guys that
Let's get these guys all fighting.
But fighting each other hasn't happened a lot.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a fun night. Good for boxing. Again, a little late for me, but after I dozed off and woke back up, I was able to watch it in its entirety. And the fight itself, Fury, I'm telling you, I'll have to ask Tony Baselli. I think he could play offensive tackle in the NFL. He's got great feet.
It's so funny you said that. I said the same thing to my son. I said, somebody should make this guy an offensive tackle because he's got great feet and hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is. He can move. He's huge. He's
Wayne
strong.
Weaver once wanted to approach Shaq about playing tight end. Why not?
Why not? Anyway, so that was a fun deal to watch, I thought. So.
FSU, they got Louisville tonight.
Yeah.
And, we've said keep the course, stay the course.
Yeah.
They could end up a 1 seed, and that's still possible. We saw 3 of the top
2 line, they say now.
Yeah, but 3 of the top 4 teams lost on Saturday.
Yeah.
And San Diego State, their first loss. Gonzaga lost, and who was the other one? Kansas beat Baylor.
Yeah.
So Kansas stays there. Baylor stays there. But if FSU wins the ACC tournament, they should be over San Diego State.
I watched an Outside the Lines on Kansas basketball.
Yeah.
It's as bad as LSU with Will Wade.
I don't know. Why are both teams playing unpunished?
I don't know why.
You watch Outside the Lines. They couldn't give you a reason why they're allowed to just keep going.
They're going through the
appeals
fight process. Kansas has gotten its letter of inquiry or whatever it is.
Is this one of those where if one of these two teams win, they're going to pull it back?
Telling the Adidas guy, I just need a couple more players, and the Adidas guy was found guilty of paying players, and not to mention all the other things that go around Kansas basketball with, the fight and the other things that have happened with the Jayhawks. It's but these coaches, I guess they just dig in, man, and they won't, I guess everybody cheats. It's just what level of cheating are you at if you're.
Well, I would suggest that Mike White needs to cheat a little more.
Yeah, get a bag man. I'm
not going to kill the kid. He plays hard. But it's just not near what I've never been more disappointed in a freshman basketball player in my life at the University of Florida than Scotty Lewis. Scotty Lewis is in my history of Gator sports. If I had to rank all the freshmen in their freshman year, he'd be like 50th. This guy was the 7th pick in a mock draft last April, Dan.
Yeah.
And again, not his fault. He just is not what was advertised. I thought we were getting, just this
little hype.
Like maybe the best player that ever signed, or
a lot of hype.
At least Bradley Beal good.
Yeah.
But he's just so pedestrian average that he's like a poor man's Corey Brewer.
Right.
Only he doesn't have near the numbers or impact. It's very disappointing. Trey Mann finally had a game the other day, by the way.
Yeah. He's making some shots.
Still looks kind of sketchy, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but nonetheless, Florida
Scotty Lewis, I'm really, really disappointed. Again, not like angry disappointed, but, man, I thought, that's why the expectations were so high. And that's what has thrown us off. A McDonald's All-American NBA lottery pick he wouldn't go in the first 2 rounds if it were tomorrow, and the player of the year in the conference who's just not player of the year in the conference level good. So that probably is
if you had
hurt a little.
You ever when you skin your knee as a kid and you put a Band-Aid on it and it scabs up. Mm-hmm. They ripping the scab off tonight at the Staples Center as we mourn the loss of Kobe Bryant again in a
official one,
like the public memorial.
Public memorial, which it's just been so tough. There was a great article again. I told you Bill Plaschke wrote a great one. He wrote another really good one about Los Angeles and Kobe. I think he might be the best sports writer in the country right now. To be honest with you,
Plaschke.
Yeah, there's not a lot of great ones because nobody
He's
cares.
On the Around the Horn show.
But he does a terrific job. And so anyway, I read his yesterday about what Kobe meant to Los Angeles, and it was terrific. And if you're a Kobe Bryant fan, you should read it. But tonight they'll have the memorial, and will his wife and children attend?
I think they set the date or helped set the date.
That would be nice.
If it's a public one, I would think that they would be there.
We want to see her and hope she's hanging in there, and I think we're 4 weeks, a month out now, and and that was part of the genesis of the article was you still can't believe he's gone type thing. So that continues tonight, and give the fans a chance to come out. Speaking of basketball, the Bucks are already in the playoffs.
I don't. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean we're in February and they've already locked up a playoff spot. One thing is, I don't know why have an Eastern Conference playoffs? Because of the way Boston played yesterday makes you think that perhaps they could get Milwaukee. I mean, it just looks just clear as a bell. By the way, every team in NBA history that have the point differential of the Bucks this year won the finals. Of course, Coach Bud, Mike Budenholzer, is used to piling up these regular season, numbers that indicate you're going to win a title, and it didn't indicate anything for Atlanta. They just went to the Eastern Conference Finals at their max, but the conference doesn't look that great. It just seems like right now, can we just fast forward, put Milwaukee in the finals, and then in the West, we're going to have to see the semis. We're going to have to see Houston, Denver, L.A., and L.A., and see how that sorts out. We could, I think either Houston or Denver could potentially upset the Lakers or the Clippers. So that still have some work to do. But the East sure looks like it's the Milwaukee Bucks and no one else.
I like that. All right, Beef.
So you're saying you don't think the Magic have something for him in the first round?
No,
I don't think
the
so.
Magic
Beef, what are we handing out today?
Our lucky winner today, Dan, is going to take home a chance to make someone else's day with a floral arrangement delivered by our friends at Kuhn Flowers.
Wonderful. Let's do caller number 3 at 641-1010. Caller number 3, if you want that wonderful floral delivery from our friends at Kuhn. Dive in right now. If not, then don't bother. Back with more next.